All right, what's up, everybody? We are here today to learn about some really cool audio techniques that can now be done automatically. And those techniques I'm referring to are ducking, remixing the length of your track, and I'll show you how to throw a limiter on there while we're here. So let me just show you the problem, and I'll show you how we can solve it very quickly. So if we look at this little commercial I worked on, you can see that we've got an interview, but the music is stepping on it, meaning that the music is too loud to hear what the interviewer is saying. On top of that, if we drag our playhead a little bit, you can see if you look over at the VU meter over on the side here, we're also clipping, and that's not uncommon. When you bring in WAV files and MP3s, a lot of times they come in hot, meaning that you have to go in and manually drop the audio a little bit. On top of that, if you look at our song here, it's way longer than our video. So this is all stuff we used to do manually. We'd grab the pen tool and we'd come in here and drop keyframes on our timeline and manually dip the audio. On top of that, we'd go and put markers in where the measure ended and try to cut out some measures and squeeze the song together so that the song doesn't just fade out at the end of the commercial, because that's, well, let's just admit it, that's kind of amateurish. So if we can make the song end where the commercial ends, it gives it a really nice feeling of finality. So 3 problems. We got to duck, we got to remix, and we need to bring the audio down on our track. So let's go ahead and do it all right now. So first thing I want to do is address the fact that our music is clipping. And again, if you're not familiar with that, it just means that we're hitting absolute 0 up there, 0 dB. And that's what these little red warning signs let me know. So the first thing we want to do is add a limiter to our audio here. As you can tell, our audio is hitting the red, and we want to stop that from happening. So let's go ahead and right click on our audio. We'll go down to audio gain, and we'll set that to, let's go for -6, and click OK. And now if we hit the space bar and let that render real quick, you can see that we've got, not only is our music not hitting the red, but we've also got a little bit of headroom there. So now that we've got the volume taken care of, let's go ahead and remix our song so that it lasts the same duration as our commercial, which in this case is only about 55 seconds, give or take. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how we do this. So at this point, you want to select your song, select the audio track. You want to go up to the audio workspace, which is right here. Now, if you're on an older version of Premiere, you'll see that lined up along the top up here. And notice that when you get to this space, the first thing you want to do, if you haven't already, is identify this track as a music track. You can see if I hit clear audio type, it will take me back to the original board. So you might see this if you haven't clicked on this before. And if you do, just click music. Now you have 2 options in here, one for duration and one for ducking. Those are the 2 we're going to be working with right now. So the first thing we want to do is trim its duration. This is absolutely amazing that Premiere can do this and that it can do it as fast as it does. So if I turn on duration and I said, what, the commercial's 54 seconds, 55, all I need to do is make sure that remix is checked and come down here to target duration and just wind it back to 55 seconds. It's going to do this give or take 5 seconds. So this might not work out perfectly. You might need to do it a couple times. You don't want to do stretch. That's literally going to speed up or slow down your song. Make sure it's on remix. Set the time, give or take 5 seconds, as close as you can get it to the end of your video, and then let it go to work. And if we look down in here, we can see all these little zigzaggy lines are the places where it went in and removed part of the song. These are the edit points. Now these aren't always perfect, but if we give this a listen back, I think we'll find out that they're pretty good. Let's go ahead and give it a listen and just kind of pay certain attention to these points.
And speed you can rely on. I mean, now I just know like the landings, the wheels are going to be right on.
Okay, so the edits are seamless. I can't hear any clicking or popping or any sort of telltale signs that there's an edit to the music. It is doing something kind of odd in that it's repeating the same line from the same verse. But honestly, I don't think that's a problem because once I duck it, you won't be able to hear too much of the vocals anyways. But most importantly, if we let this play out here, it sounds good, but really the best part is going to be when we get to the end. And we finish up with this little bit of B-roll here. And we'll pop over to the logo. Check this out right here. All right, so you can see that it remixed perfectly, so much so that it ended right on the note of the last frame, which was exactly what I was going for. So that was the remix portion, and again, all we did was select the audio, identified it as a music track, and then went to duration, and just changed the target duration to the length of our video. And now we just need to do one more thing, and that is add in the ducking. Because as we said earlier, we could hear that the audio was stepping on the dialogue from the interview. Okay, so let's go ahead and handle that. And again, with dialogue, we're not actually going to do anything to the dialogue track. We want all of our edits to be on the music track. So again, this is something you could do manually with the pen tool. You could come in and add a couple points and drag the second one down to create an audio fade. But it can be tricky to be consistent with this. So I much prefer to let Premiere do this automatically. Hit Command Z here, clear those points. And all I'm going to do is first make sure that all of my dialogue is marked as dialogue. And that just means that if it's not, for example, select your dialogue and just click dialogue. And I have to go through and do that with each one of these just to make sure. And in this case, they look good. All right, so with that done, all I need to do now is select my audio track, make sure that it's set as music. I'm going to close duration for the moment, and I'm going to go down to ducking. And all I have to do is turn this on. And at this point, I don't really need to adjust any of these sliders. I just need to tell it what to duck against. In this case, I want it to duck against dialogue. We're ducking the music against the dialogue. So all I have to do is click the check mark to turn it on and click Generate Keyframes. And you can see how quickly it does that. So let's give it a look and see how it sounds.
The way it used to be, you were always at risk of sliding out if you didn't land perfectly.
Okay, so we can see that the music has been ducked against the dialogue. And if we move on down to the end of the dialogue,
it's like it gives you a turbo boost. I can't explain it.
Brings it right back up. Now, in this situation, it did a great job of getting everything done quickly, but quite honestly, I would go back personally and adjust the beginning a little bit. If we listen to the beginning, you can hear that before the logo fades, the music fades considerably. So I'm just going to come over here and hit the plus key a few times. And I can see, looking at the waveforms, my dialogue starts right here. If we put a marker in there. But I'm pretty much completely ducked at least a second or two before. So let's go ahead and just adjust this. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this keyframe and slide it up to my marker there. And then I'm going to kind of look at this first logo, and I can tell it fades out right about there. So that's really where I want the audio to start fading, maybe even about halfway through it. So rather than right here, we'll slide that up to there. And I'm keeping an eye on this bar as well, because especially with a mouse, it's really easy to mess this up. So now let's give it one more quick look.
The way it used to be, you were always
there you go. I like that a lot better. So auto ducking definitely gets you in the ballpark. It will get the keyframes put right on your audio track, so you can go in and customize them however you want. The remix is absolutely insane at how quickly and accurately it can remix your song and trim it down to the whatever duration you need. And on top of that, rather than coming in here and playing with this bar to get your audio right, just right click, throw on a limiter using audio gain, and that will allow you to quickly adjust your audio across your entire track and ensure that you're not going to clip. And that will do it.
The way it used to be, you were always at risk of sliding out if you didn't land perfectly straight, and now that's not an issue at all, and it like opens up a whole new realm of tricks that you can do. And speed you can rely on. I mean, now I just know like the landings, your wheels are going to be right on point, not fishtailing, not giving a little like skirt on the on the way down. And now it's just like it gives you a turbo boost. I can't explain it.